What up, family? Boy, Josh. Look, I wasn't gonna make another video, but I feel like I have to because I'm gonna be honest with you. Time is legitimately short. When I was thinking months, I'm thinking weeks. But to be honest with you, things will probably start to fire off in days. Fan, you gotta look at what's going on, and that's what has me nervous. I'm not scared. I'm not nervous because we all talk about C Dub and Shift and WOL. But to be honest with you, deep down inside, I don't want it to happen anytime soon. I don't. I'd much rather talk and plan for it than to actually have to deal with it and go through it. Because talking is one thing, but actually doing a thing is a whole other thing. But look, let me just tell you what I'm seeing and why I'm making this video. It's real talk, fam. All right, so they are trying to get this started, and they, just so people know, I'm not talking about anybody in particular, but I'm talking about the dark, highly powerful global figures in dark rooms that make decisions and make bad things happen in order to bring in the grand ORESET, the new world, the World War III, the one world religion, the 15-minute cities, the everything. They're working, especially on the United States. Apparently now we need to go back into Afghanistan and open up that base we had and get back some of the things that we left there. Venezuela is definitely not playing true. There's not a lot they can do to repel or fight us, but things are going to go hot. It's pretty much a definite now. It's just a matter of time. And the entire South American continent has joined in our wargaming to fend us off for whatever it is. I think it's just oil, and we got to cut China off for World War III so they can't manufacture as much without the Venezuelan oil. Russia apparently is really getting ready to start getting it on with Poland. And we don't have a whole lot of allies, true allies right now. But look, let me get into this. So this is what's happening here. This is our shift, our C-Dub 2.0 WOL. So first they tried to get things cracking. Racial tensions, they gotta raise the temperature on everything. They don't have to get us to the ignition portion just yet, but they got to get everything right there to the very top to where the lid's about to blow off from the steam. Fam, prayers to the family of the Ukrainian girl that was on that Charlotte train, bus, whatever it was, that got stabbed that day. That was supposed to have people in an uproar. They played that video everywhere. If you wanted to see it, it wasn't hard. It was on everybody's mind, everybody, the tip of their tongue. It was just horrible. It was just bad. But it didn't get the effect that they were looking for. It was the camera angle was even perfect, fam. It's too perfect. The guy, it's all of the same. It's mental illness. The judges have been letting this, the leftist judges have been letting this guy out of jail. The mom was scared of him. It's perfect. But we're normalized. We're desensitized to that level of, what's the new word we're saying now? Tourism? It's not the other one. It's tourism. It's with tourist. And that's what that was. We're used to that now. So that didn't work. So now we got the CK incident. That's what I'm calling it. Because to say, Charlie Kirk right now is just, there's no telling what's going to happen to what you got going on. But the CK incident, again, nobody deserves to die like that. Prayers to the family. I pray for peace of mind, peace of spirit. I pray for the strength and the clarity to move on with life and just understand that all of this is God's will. But this thing, now don't take my words the wrong way. I'm not saying it like, but as far as a division psyop tactic, this thing is absolutely beautiful. What this thing does is it creates a super growing cancer that develops under the skin where nobody knows it's at, and it divides. I didn't even know who he was. I went back and did some research. I think I did what a lot of my people, when I say my people, just people that just, we're not really interested in college debates. We're not, that's not like, that's not our thing. But I did a little research, and of course YouTube, and as the algorithm, it threw at me the worst of the debates repeatedly. it threw up videos of people screaming, like taking out the worst of the worst. That's what was being fed to me. And so that right there started to cause division, because I'm like, how can, people agree with this? But thankfully, I think with my mind, and I understand what is going on. I understand that this is a psyop. So I went back and I watched other debates. I actually searched for different, debates on different angles, and then that's when I realized what this was. Fam, it's so bad that the sides that are divided cannot get along. Family relationships, family members, they're not talking to each other. People that were working together, happy, cohesive, hanging out, now they don't. And it's a silent thing. A lot of times the division is there, like I said, under the surface, and you can't even see it. It's there. But mentally, people are like, oh, I didn't think that they thought like that. And then the other side is like, what is wrong with these people? Like, nobody understands what is going on. But this cancer is festering, and it's breeding division, the likes of which we've never seen. This will lead to a tearing of this country. That's what it's leading to. And the reason I say that this psyop is beautiful is because so many people just falling for the emotional aspects of it. But this thing the division is intensifying. So now it's moved on to freedom of speech. OVP, I appreciate you, brother. Your video made me think, and it is not freedom of speech, but this CK incident, the byproducts, makes it seem like freedom of speech is under attack. Now, everybody's got the right to say whatever they want. Nobody's going to shut them up, but you definitely have to be ready to deal with the blowback, the repercussions, especially if you're at a job. I mean, you're representing a particular company, and that's not how it works. You have to take these things into consideration, or you will be canceled. So that's a business thing. That's not a left or right thing. That is a legitimate business thing. But you've got sides saying, oh, wow, so freedom of speech works for you guys, but it doesn't work for us. And it's not that at all. It's the context and when and where you decide to use your freedom of speech. And that is building a division that is intensifying and growing. So that's working on the back burner. That is going to cause C-Dub 2.0, but now we've got something new. For the last couple of days, there's been these hangings, these lynchings in multiple states. I'm telling you, look, they got to get people out in the street. They already got the military and the National Guard there with funding, planning. They're ready to scoop people up. Just the other day, they said that the A-team, the ANTIF, you know what I'm talking about, was in Memphis, and that is exactly where the National Guard and ICE is going next. But there's been these lynchings, these hangings, whatever you want to call them. There's been multiple. I think Delaware and Mississippi. Who knows? We may wake up tomorrow and there may be 3 more. But the problem with these hangings is that all of them have been said to have no foul play. How does that happen? I think it came out that one of the kids had 2 broken legs, but it was no foul play. There's no camera footage. There are no people. There are no suspects right now. The investigations, basically, let's all go back to school. No big deal. Let's get this thing going and don't worry about it. No foul play, fam. Al Sharpton and Jesse Jackson are getting ready to start marching. They're gonna be marching right on into ICE and right on into the National Guard, and they're not playing right now. So I was talking to a friend. I said, hey, this was earlier. I said, hey, you know what? Seriously, I'm going to be honest with you. I think that these hangings, these lynchings is really going to start something soon in the next couple of days. And sure enough, I turn on YouTube and there's this one content creator, and he's talking about these protests that are taking place right now in New York City. Massive. They're anti-ICE protests, but they baked the cake, fam. They're anti-ICE protests, but they're chanting FCK. And they're making comments about the guys who were hung, who were lynched. So this thing is really about to get hot. This thing's really about to go into a place that I hope that it would not, but it is going there, man, and it's going there fast. I'm seeing channels that have nothing to do with preparedness across the board. I'm seeing channels that talk about hip hop videos. I'm talking about channels that are mechanic channels, race car channels. I'm seeing channels that are like farming channels. Of course, the homestead and preparedness. But I'm seeing these channels now talk about you must prepare for what is coming. I watched the channel from a guy who, what does he talk about? He talks about astronomy. And he was saying how you got to prepare for this conflict that's coming to the planet. He believes that it's going to be on everybody's front door, and you need to start preparing like water. And he was saying, look, a lot of people just aren't prepared for what is about to happen. He said, but there are people, the people who are prepared have been investing in this for years. So definitely something's coming, fam, and it's not going to be fun. That's why I'm making this video. I just want to throw this out there to you. That's the game plan. You have the Ukrainian girl. You got CK and everything that comes with it. You got freedom of speech. That's not really an attack on freedom of speech, but it looks and feels like an attack on freedom of speech, which is opening the conflict even more to is the Constitution being torn apart. So you're going to have constitutionalists getting involved. You're going to have 2A getting involved because transgender is supposedly about to be man, that whole thing is just crazy, but it's about to be made a mental disorder, which means that you cannot own a pew pew. Fam, the conflicts are going to come from every direction. Just when you think you have a strong foundation to stand on, the attacks are going to come for that too, because that's the division that they want. They want everybody against everybody. And I think our shift WL is coming a whole lot sooner. A whole lot sooner than what we thought. These global conflicts are about to fire up. And right along with that, EMP, grid down, and like I said in a previous video, they're not going to do a world war and leave everything else intact. They're not going to do a C-Dub 2.0 here in the country and leave everything intact. They're not going to do a C-Dub and leave religion alone. They're not going to do World War III and leave religion alone. When this thing hits, it's all going to hit. Everything, all at once. The global economy will collapse. The global war will start. Religion will be attacked on all fronts. Religion will collapse. We know in the new system there's going to be a one world religion. They've got to attack the religion. We know that the race thing, some way, somehow, tribalism is going to pop off too. Along with the C-Dub, the world economy, as well as the United States economy, they're going to tear it all down, fam. Everything. Your entire way of life was going to be different when the smoke cleared. So just don't expect that you'll still own your home after this thing, because you won't. Don't expect to still have your bank account after this thing, because you won't. You won't have anything, and they will control everything. That is what we're going into. I'm going to be honest with you. I'm telling any and everybody that I come across, we have a conversation that's anything about this to prepare to the best of your ability. All right, I'm out. Y'all better hold on. Y'all better hold on for real, because I got a really bad feeling that it's coming, and it's coming soon, and it's coming fast. I'll holler at y'all tomorrow. Guess what tomorrow is? It's good to laugh in times when tomorrow's uncertain. There's no telling what tomorrow's going to bring at all. There's probably going to be another. Man, look, there's been cop shootings. There's been mass shootings. There's been schools and churches getting shot up. Like, we are here. All right. Peace out, fam. Later.